One of the things that's bothering me about AOC and others like her is I watch them absolutely ruin the Me Too movement. You know, that was rooted in something good, which was we shouldn't force women to be sexually harassed in order to advance their careers at the office. Who would disagree with that, really? I mean, what normal person would say, oh, I disagree. And it's complex, I get it, and whatever. But they're the ones who turned it into a witch hunt. They're the ones who just wanted scalps. They wanted male scalps. Brett Kavanaugh, believe all women, okay? Unless the target happens to be a Democrat like Andrew Cuomo, in which case it's complicated. We're all going to switch secretly and help the man accused and not the women. Or Joe Biden in the case of Tara Reade. Let's secretly work against Tara Reade to ruin her life and smear her as a human because the target is Joe Biden. So they ruined it. And it was people like AOC. And they're the same ones who told us they were all about women. They're about women. And now that leads us to Riley Gaines, an actual woman, and a fierce competitor, somebody they would normally be celebrating out there in the pool with the best of the best, NCAA tournaments, winning medals and so on, who didn't win in the NCAA final on, I can't remember whether it was the 100 or what heat it was, because she tied instead with Leah Thomas. And instead of getting the trophy to Riley to hold, they gave it to Leah Thomas, saying, we want Leah to hold the trophy, not you. Why? Oh, why would that be? The one who was on the guys' team this time last year, placing 500th, or Riley Gaines? Okay, so Riley has a thing to say about trans people in sports, trans women in particular in women's sports. And she goes, as we discussed on Friday, to this San Francisco State University and gets absolutely attacked. She did speak, so that was a plus. But then got absolutely attacked. The video is horrific. She says she was assaulted twice by a trans woman, some guy wearing a dress, punched in the shoulder, and then again grazed her face. They were screaming terrible things at her. She was forced to hide in a room for 3 hours as the cops on campus did virtually nothing. They were yelling ransom demands to let her out. And I mean, not a peep from the AOCs of the world on women's rights. And the assault of a woman who was not saying trans people don't exist, who was not saying I refuse to use pronouns, who was simply saying it's not okay to have trans women compete against biological women in sports like mine where they have an unfair advantage. That's it. So I can't listen to them paint themselves as our advocates. It's absurd, and it's an obvious lie.
I'm sure you've had this experience to be willing to bet. But when you're somebody who's in a so-called marginalized group, if you're a woman, if you're Black, if you're a person of color, if you're a gay man or a lesbian, whatever, this is something that Democrats and liberals supposedly honor and protect and constantly demand that you be respected to, right up until the point that you become some kind of a dissident to their ideology, at which point the vitriol and use of these very bigoted tropes is just unleashed like nothing before. I mean, the most grotesque racism I see directed toward Clarence Thomas comes from liberals and Democrats who hate him. The most grotesque misogyny I bet you've encountered probably came during moments when you confronted Donald Trump and people were angry at you for that, but then also from liberals who hate you. And that's definitely been my experience in terms of just like ugly homophobia has mostly come overwhelmingly from those moments in my career when I've been perceived as being a dissident to the Democratic Party or the American left. And so to watch this woman who, as you say, would ordinarily be celebrated, be violently and physically threatened. It wasn't that they were just disagreeing with her or expressing dissent toward her speech, all of which is fine. They menaced her physically to the point that she needed 20 police officers in order to safely leave. She was trapped in that school for 3 hours. They were saying things like, let her pay us and we'll let her leave. This is criminal behavior that's obviously misogynistic in nature. It's exploiting this perceived vulnerability that women have in those kind of situations to defend themselves physically. That's the way in which she was menaced. And nobody has the slightest objection to it who ordinarily would be waving the misogyny flag because she's expressing dissent to their agenda. And it's that gets back to the thing I was describing earlier. It is absolutely repulsive to watch. I mean, who would look at that video, no matter what your views are on trans women in sports, and not be disgusted and horrified by that behavior?
Now that it's spring, oh, it's so nice to have the warmer temperatures, isn't it? Thank God they're finally here. It is time to get outside and enjoy your backyard. But does your backyard need a makeover? Start with the perfect centerpiece, a Michael Phelps Swim Spa by Master Spas. A Michael Phelps Swim Spa can transform your backyard into an oasis. The swim spa is an alternative to a pool with the therapy of a hot tub. Michael Phelps Swim Spas have a water current so you can swim, do aquatic exercises, and have fun with the kids. And because it is heated, you can choose your perfect water temperature and use it all year long in any climate. Michael Phelps Swim Spas by Master Spas come in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even if it's a small one. And this is not a long, intimidated project. In fact, delivery and installation can take less than 1 day once your space is ready, so don't feel intimidated. Michael Phelps Swim Spas are 100% made in the USA by Master Spas, the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. You are going to love your Michael Phelps Swim Spa by Master Spas. Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code MK to save that $1,000 on a Michael Phelps Swim Spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. That's masterspas.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.